Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick government review to help you prepare for your quiz tomorrow, right? Because it's our last big quiz of the year, and so I want us to be best prepared. So if you watch this video, it will help you study for the quiz tomorrow. All right, so some government review. So some key terms that you need to know, right? So who is a citizen? A citizen is a person who is born in a country or who has earned the right to become a member of that country by law. Rights. So all citizens have rights. Rights are freedoms that are protected by law. Every citizen is guaranteed certain rights, and the government cannot take them away. Citizens also have responsibilities. Responsibilities are things that citizens are expected or should do. And we'll go through some examples in a minute. So responsibilities are things you should do as a citizen. So let's go over some First Amendment rights. Remember, an amendment is a change to the Constitution. So this First Amendment, this first change to the Constitution, gives us 5 basic rights. The first right is freedom of religion. American citizens can practice whatever religion they want to. The government cannot make any laws that force you to practice a particular religion. So the first right is freedom of religion. Also part of the First Amendment is freedom of speech. Citizens, American citizens, have the right to speak about their opinions, feelings, and ideas. The government cannot make any laws that stop you from saying what you think or feel as long as it doesn't put others in danger. And we talked about how you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater because it causes panic and danger, but you are allowed to speak your opinion about the government, about, like the president. Your American citizens have the right to speak about their opinions, feelings, and ideas. All right, this does include, as we talked about, clothing and demonstrations like the burning of the American flag are all part of freedom of speech. The next is freedom of press. All right, so freedom of press. American citizens have the right to access many different sources of information. These sources of information can include newspapers, TV, radio, books, the internet, right? Those are sources of information that belong to the press. And we, as American citizens, have the right to those sources of information. The government cannot control or limit what information is broadcast through newspapers, TV, radio, books, the internet, and other sources. So we talked about how in other countries they censor what's on TV or what is written in the newspaper or what's online. In the United States, it is illegal for the government to do that. Also, as an American citizen, you have the right to print and publish your opinions and ideas too. That means you can write a book, compose a letter to a newspaper, ask for time on TV, or even create your own website online. That is part of freedom of the press. The next one, and you guys get these next two confused, so make sure we pay close attention. I saw some mistakes in the homework assignment from last week. Freedom of petition. American citizens have the right to petition. Petition means you formally ask for change to the government. So a petition is asking for a change in government. You can join with others in signing a formal request known as a petition. And there's a picture on the page where people are signing to make a change in government. Also, to petition the government or to ask for change, you can write a letter, you can call, or you can email your representative in Congress about which laws you want passed or changes you want. So you can reach out to your representatives as an American citizen. All right, you can reach out to people in government and ask for change. All right, so again, this picture up here is an example of a petition. And the last one is the freedom of assembly. American citizens are free to assemble. Assemble means to gather in groups, to worship, to be with friends, to enjoy recreation, and to even accomplish a goal. For example, you might want to start a public group that tells people about the dangers of pollution. You're allowed to do that. The government cannot stop people from having private or public gatherings. Okay, so if you want to start a group to protect animal rights, you're allowed to do that and to protest as long as it's done peacefully and doesn't hurt others. So the freedom of assembly. We're allowed to gather in groups. So what are some responsibilities of citizens? Some responsibilities. Remember, things that we should do as citizens. Well, obey laws. Right? We should obey all laws created by the government. We should pay taxes. Remember, taxes is money collected by the government used to pay for services. Services such as public schools, highways, fire and police protection, libraries. Those are things, services paid for by the government through taxes. Citizens have the responsibility to serve on juries. A jury, again, is a group of citizens in a court of law who decide if someone is accused of a crime, is innocent or guilty of that crime. So that they determine, they listen to all the evidence and determine if that person is innocent or guilty of the crime. That is a jury. If you are called to be a jury member, and when you turn 18, you're able to serve on a jury. If you are called to be a jury member, you must serve. Right? It is against the law not to, unless you have a reason not to, a personal reason not to, and you're excused. But almost every time you must serve on the jury. Another responsibility is if you're a male above the age of 18, you must register for the Selective Service. All male citizens over the age of 18 must register for this Selective Service. The Selective Service helps the country prepare for a draft during wartime if needed. A draft is a system in which young men are required to join the military of a country for a period of time. The last time a draft happened in the United States is 1975 during the Vietnam War. But all male citizens have to register just in case another draft is needed. And during this draft, people are males above the age of 18 are randomly selected to be part of the military for a certain amount of time. Okay, so that is another responsibility of citizens. And we have two more responsibilities of American citizens, right? Things that they should do. Respect the rights of others. This includes people's opinions and beliefs. We must respect the rights of others. And we have the responsibility to vote as American citizens. So when you turn 18, you should participate in government and vote. This allows citizens to decide on issues and to select representatives in government. So we can vote on our representatives, such as who's going to be the president, who's going to be the governor, and your senator, and the mayor, and city council members, and who's the police chief, our members of the Board of Education. Right? Citizens can vote on issues, and they can also vote on representatives, or who represents them in government in all these different positions. Voting is also a right that all citizens have. The government cannot take away a citizen's right to vote. It's a freedom that all citizens have. The last section I want to go over is laws. All right, so what is a law? A law is a rule that people in a state or country must follow. Okay, so a law must be followed. It's a rule that must be followed. Laws are made by the government. The United States government makes laws for the entire country. Right? Remember, the federal government makes laws for the entire country. Ohio's state government makes laws for the entire state. Since we are citizens of both the United States and Ohio, we must obey the laws of both the United States and the state of Ohio. Okay, so laws are rules that people in a state or country must follow, made by the government, and there are federal laws for the whole country, and there are also state laws. In Ohio, we have certain state laws. So what are some benefits of laws? It establish order and to help keep people safe. Think of like the law, traffic laws, like the stop sign, right? Stop signs help traffic continue to move, and it keeps people safe. Same as traffic lights. Or seatbelt laws are not being allowed to smoke on public property, all to keep people safe. There's laws that protect people's property. You can't graffiti or paint on people's houses, or you can't break into people's homes, or you can't, there's different laws to protect people's property, and there's laws to provide services. For example, in the state of Ohio, all children are required to attend some type of school, public, private, or homeschool, until they're 16. That is a law in the state of Ohio, and it is to provide a service for you. And what responsibility do laws create? Well, again, some of these we talked about. Paying taxes. All right, responsibility that laws create. Serving on juries. And the last one, which we didn't talk about yet, obtaining a license. In the state of Ohio, there are a driver's license where people have to pass a test, and which makes them know the laws of traffic laws and be able to drive. There's driver's license. There's also certain jobs you have to have a license for. So if you're a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher, or if you drive a truck, or if you have a construction job, you must obtain a license as well, just to make sure people are educated and to keep people safe. All right, so obtaining a license is a responsibility that laws create. And the last one, just briefly, what is a constitution? A constitution is a written plan of government. The United States has a constitution, a plan of government for the entire country, and Ohio has a constitution, which we talked about, that was first created in 1803 when Ohio became a state. Each of the 50 states has a constitution. All right, so Ohio has a constitution. Even though Ohio has a constitution, the United States Constitution is the highest law of the United States. So the United States Constitution, those laws in the United States Constitution is the most powerful and always come first before state laws. All right, so here's a quick 15-minute review. You still have more to study, making informed decisions among that. Good luck. I will see you tomorrow.